Estimados alumnos, buenas noches. Damos inicio a nuestra sesión 4 del módulo 7. Una disculpa de antemano del día de ayer. Parece que sí tenemos audio normal. Me pueden escribir en el chat en YouTube de todas maneras también. Bueno, les decía que el día de ayer de plano tuve mucha complicación. Hola Patricia, buenas noches, gracias por acompañarme. ¿Me puedes confirmar si me escuchas, por favor? Y bueno, pues de plano ayer no logré con la otra aplicación que utilizaba, no logré conectar con audio, con YouTube. Después traté de generar una nueva liga con StreamYard y bueno, tampoco pude. Entonces, esa es la razón por la que estamos aquí en miércoles. Muchas gracias, Patricia. Y bueno, haciendo ya el intento de esta sesión de nuestra semana 4, que es muy importante porque estamos ya en el cierre de nuestro módulo 7, en este recursamiento, en esta nueva oportunidad de aprobar el módulo 7 del idioma inglés. Y bueno, pues los felicito porque ya estamos a nada. Entonces hay que trabajar con mucho esfuerzo para poder cerrar con mucho éxito. En esta noche vamos a platicar, como ya saben, nuestras sesiones en idioma inglés. Sin embargo, me pueden ir preguntando en el chat en YouTube en español cualquier duda que tengan al respecto y con gusto la resolveré también en idioma español. Bueno, ya saben también que la sesión queda grabada para quienes no me puedan acompañar. La nueva liga estará en el foro de novedades, en el calendario de la plataforma, para que puedan consultarla. Y bueno, sin más preámbulo, vamos a nuestra presentación de esta noche. También... Ok, parece que sí, también la pantalla perfecto. Ok. So, as you already know, this is our week 4 from our Model 7, My Life in Another Language. Remember, obviously, that we are going to finish our Model 7 in November 29. So the order of our session tonight, we're going to review the object of this session, the performance indicators of week 4, the integrative project. We're going to check it out step by step, how to participate in the integrative forum, suggestions for the successful closure of our Model 7, closure times, additional resources, and finally, space for doubts. So the object of our session tonight is we're going to review the instructions of the integrative project to carry out in week 4 with suggestions and examples. We will talk about, obviously, also about the closing suggestions for our Model 7. So the performance indicators of this week 4, we have the integrative project that values the 30% of the total of the model and entitles My Biography. The self-assessment, remember that is a reflection through their model 6 and 7 and about the knowledge or the topics that we learn through these models. So it's a questionnaire, we have to answer it, and it values the 5% of the total of the model. We also have the social-emotional activity 14. We have to assist to our tutor's session, and we have to answer to a questionnaire in this week 4. We have the form activities, 2 of them in this last week, guess the tenses and expressions of time. Remember that the questionnaire is that you have to click at the end of the finish everything and send everything, that the platform really registered your participation in these form activities. And we have the forums. We have the traditional learning forum in this last week, week 4, in which we're going to identify what we learn and what we are going to like to continue learning. So I'm going to give you some other questions to participate actively in this space. And we also have the integrative forum in this last week because it's titled My Struggle and it values according to a rubric. So it values the 8% and we're going to evaluate it according to a rubric. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to participate in this forum step by step. Okay, so let's go to the integrative project because in this one, we're going to talk about ourselves. We're going to construct a biography. in order to take the knowledge about all the grammatical notions we saw in Model 6 and in Model 7. Present, past, first past, present, and future. Okay, so first, remember we have the infographic that is located in the news forum. We have it in English, but also in Spanish. And we have this in a very quick way to remind you my suggestions for the develop of the integrative project and all the activities we have in week 4. So the object of the integrative project, my biography, is that we're going to prepare an autobiography in English, orally and in writing, that integrates information about your activities in the present, your background, meaning the past, and your plans, meaning the future. Okay, so 3 grammatical notions: past, present, and future. So we have to check some research. I'm going to give you step by step right now what we have to do in the integrative project. Obviously, everything is in English, according also to the paragraph we're going to write down here: the recording, the form activities, the integrative forum, and how to participate, the self-assessment, the social-emotional activity questionnaire 14, and the learning forum, okay? Like I said, we're going to identify what we learned and what we would like to continue learning. So for example, through this Model 7, we learn to recognize and structure the grammar of past tense, past continuous, and future, as well as to use the appropriate vocabulary in each situation. Likewise, during the process of Model 6, My World in Another Language, we acquire vocabulary and basic notions to achieve communication in English in daily situations. Okay, so I'm going to give you some ideas on how to participate in this learning forum of this last week. Okay, so let's go then to the file of our integrative project again. Good night, Ramon. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Leticia, for joining me too. Please let me know if you have a question. You can write it down in the chat. Okay, so the integrative project. You have to download the file that is in the instructions of the project in the platform, and you're going to review, you're going to see a file like this one in the screen right now, okay? So, like I said, we're going to review all or the grammatical notions that we saw since Model 6 and Model 7. So, past, present, and future. So, we're going to answer some questions beginning with our past, and each section we have to illustrate it about my past, my present, and my future. You can choose a random image, anything you want to show here, or you can choose a real picture from you, okay, when a real baby, a real photograph from you when you were a baby, or a random picture like I'm showing right now, okay? But according to the rubric, we have to choose an image, okay? So this is very important because it's a very recurrent area of opportunity that you don't choose an image for each section, okay? So for the first part, my past, I suggest you can check the research in week 4, my past and I was doing. Remember, when we saw the simple past, obviously, because we're going to talk about ourselves, because it's our autobiography, we're going to use always the pronoun I, okay? Always pronoun I. And the verb to be, in this case, we're going to use it in past, in simple past, okay? So I was born in Guadalajara is going to answer for where were you born, okay? I was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco. Where did you live? I lived in Zapopan, Jalisco. And when I was 5 years old, maybe I moved to Puebla, or maybe I moved to Ciudad de Mexico, etc., okay? What were you doing before starting Prepa Online CEP? Before I began Prepa Online CEP, I was studying high school. Remember when we saw the past continuous? Remember? We use the pronoun, the verb to be in simple past, and the verb with the ending ing to construct the past continuous, okay? I was studying high school. Yo estaba estudiando, okay? Next section, my achievements. I'm choosing random picture again, some medals here to illustrate the next section of my project. I suggest you can check the research in week 4, my past, used to, and my family timeline. My lifetime, okay? The first question, what were the 3 most important achievements in your life? I can answer with a long answer like this example. One of the most important achievements in my life was, and continue with the past, the simple past, was when I swam. Remember, we have some irregular verbs. We have the research in the platform about the irregular verbs. In this case, swim changed completely to swam for the simple past, okay? I swam and won, another irregular verb from win, won a competition of 4 hours, okay? So this is one of my best achievements, one of 3. The next question of the past asked me to have to write down an experience in which you have overcome some difficulty. We're going to talk about this topic, these kind of answers, in our integrative forum, My Struggle, in this week 4. So you already have the structure on how to answer to this section in the integrative forum, okay? I'm going to give you more examples, and of course your classmates are going to share some experiences here too. So for example, when I was 4 years old, I began my structure with simple past. I was 4 years old. I remember I did not know how to swim. I was so scared of being drowned, okay? First past. Next, present. Now, right now, I can swim very fast, okay? Verb in simple present. I can swim very fast. And I am also a good competitor. Next, in future, using will. I will teach my son how to float and swim, okay? So this is the structure that we're going to answer for this question. And we're going to review more structures, grammatical structures on how to answer in the integrative forum in this week 4, titled My Struggle in the Platform, okay? Next section, my present and what I want to accomplish. Once again, I have a random picture here, just proud to be me, okay? A random picture. And I suggest you can check the research in week 4 in my free time. Use the adverbs of time. Remember when we saw the adverbs of time since Module 6 and also during this Module 7, we use the adverbs of time to describe what happened, the order of the actions, okay? What happened first, what happened next, and what happened at the end, okay? So that's why we use the adverbs of time. And in this section of our project, we have to use them too. So for example, for the first question, describe your school and work routine. First, I wake up at 6 a.m. I'm using simple present, okay? I take a shower and then breakfast. Finally, I go to sleep, okay? Then, another adverb of time, I have to put it down in color red, okay? First, I wake up at 6 a.m., I take a shower, and then breakfast. Finally, I go to sleep, okay? What do you do in your free time? In my free time, I like watching movies. Remember when we saw the rule of like followed by another verb, we have to add the ing ending, okay? I like watching movies, or I like ice cream, or I like football, or I like go shopping, for example, okay? What new skills or challenges are you trying to overcome? I am trying, okay, right now, I am trying to overcome COVID-19, for example, or right now I'm trying to overcome some difficulties in my family, or right now I'm trying to overcome my academic process in Prepa and ICEP, or right now I'm trying to overcome this Module 7, for example, okay? So right now, trying to. Write about any difficulties in this moment of your life. Right now, simple present. What are you doing doing, present continuous, to overcome those difficulties. So my answer is going to be in present continuous. We already said that we're going to use pronoun I always. The verb to be that goes with I in simple present, I am doing more exercises to practice my English. I am working hard to buy my own house, for example, okay? So right now, we have to construct the present continuous, pronoun, verb to be in present, and our verb with the ending ing, okay? Remember, present continuous. Next section. We're going to talk about our future and my goals and plans, okay? So obviously, we're going to talk about grammatical notions in future. You can check the resource in week 4 talking about the future, and would you like to? And we already have this information. Why? Because we already saw, to answer to these questions, we already did them in the activity number 3. No, sorry, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, number 6, the activity number 6 from week 3, be a positive thinker. We already saw this information. Remember when we answered to the chart that was in this activity, we talk about our plans for the future. Remember we use will for wishes. We use would for something that is not very sure to happen in the future. And we use going to for something that is very sure that is going to happen in the future, okay? We're very, very certain that that plan is going to happen, okay? And I'm using here a random picture also for my section in my plans, okay? Remember this part also. Section B, we have to write down a half-page reflection on what we learned during the modules My World in Another Language and My Life in Another Language, module 6 and 7, okay? And how they contribute to your formation. So we can use the reflections of the self-assessment in this week 4 in the platform, and you can write a paragraph in English, okay? You must write down this paragraph in English. Consider that it has to be from 10 to 15 lines, okay? So this is very important because we are used to work during these modules with paragraphs from minimum 5 lines, okay? So right now we have to write a reflection in half page. So it means we have to write down minimum 10 lines, okay? So be careful with this part because this is a very recurrent area of opportunity that we didn't achieve the extension of the paragraph. So we can support ourselves in the self-assessment. We can check the examples that we're going to give each day in the learning forum in this week 4, okay? And we have to begin our paragraph saying that during module 6, My World in Another Language, I learned, for example, the simple past, the simple present. I learned how to communicate in daily situations, on how to give directions, on how to go from one place to another, remember in module 6. During this module 7, My Life in Another Language, I learned how to use present continuous, past continuous, and that really helped me in my life because I learned, or I make a conclusion that the English language is very important to communicate in the daily world, in our daily lives, okay? Right now, it's the universal language, so it's very important to use it. And this is a conclusion maybe, okay? You try to use the sequence connectors that I share with you since week 2 that are in the news forum and the infographic in Spanish. You can use the connectors here, the sequence connectors, to help you to construct this half page, okay? Record the questions and answers your biography from point A, from point B, okay? So everything of the project. And please no more than 2 minutes, okay? Remember that I'm not very, how can I say that? I'm not going to penalize according to the rubric if you exceed like 4 seconds your recording, okay? So, but please try to do it in no more than 2 minutes, okay? You can use Buckaroo, you can use the voice capture, you can use the sound recorder, the Windows, you can use Anchor, you can use the recording in the WhatsApp in your cell phone. You can use whatever you want, just make sure you can share with the necessary permissions, okay? Very good. Until here, Patricia, Leticia y Ramón, do you have a question about the project? ¿Tienen alguna pregunta del proyecto hasta ahorita? Okay. So let's go then to our slides again. Okay, Ramon, thank you. So let's continue with the slides of our presentation here. Good. So how to participate in the integrative forum? The integrative forum, like we said at the beginning of our session, it values the 8% of the total of the model, and it values according to a rubric, okay? It evaluates according to a rubric in the platform too. So you can check the elements of the rubric that are in Spanish in the instructions of the forum in the platform, okay? Remember that the rubrics are in Spanish, so please read them. So you have to make at least 4 participations on different days of the week. At least 4. So that's meaning that the meaning is that we can make, or we must make, 5 participations at least, okay? Why? Because according to the rubric, it evaluates if you really make an effort and you make the 5 participations, okay? Very good. Ok, Leticia, thank you. Me dice Patricia que se tienen que poner imágenes. Sí. De acuerdo a la rúbrica, en el proyecto hay que ilustrar cada sección del proyecto. Y ya decía que este es un área de oportunidad muy recurrente porque no me ilustran todas las secciones. O de repente me ponen una sola imagen en una sección, pero en las demás no. Entonces, de acuerdo a la rúbrica, hay que ilustrar cada sección. Ya decía que puede hacer cualquier imagen, ¿sí? De bajar internet de derechos libres de autor, de Pinterest o de donde ustedes quieran. Puede ser cualquier imagen, no tienen que ser fotografías reales de las etapas de su vida, pero sí tiene que ser ilustrada cada sección del proyecto, ¿ok? Bien. So, the first participation. You have to share a situation of the past in which you had difficulties or how you live now that you have overcome it, and some purpose for the future about it, okay? We already talked about this also in the integrative project. You don't have to choose a real situation, okay? We can pretend and imagine a situation to participate and to work with the grammatical notions. The important thing here is that we have to use the 3 grammatical notions, okay? So first in the past, next in the present, and in the future, like we said before, okay? I remember that when I was little, I didn't know how to swim. I was afraid of being drowned, okay? Was, in simple past. Right now, I'm a very good competitor. In the future, I will teach my son how to swim, okay? So I'm using the 3 structures to make my first participation. Present, past, and future. Very good. Past, present, and future. Second participation. You have to ask a classmate 3 questions about what she shared to learn more. So I'm going to give you some examples on how to participate for the first participation. And for the second one, I'm also going to share some random questions, yes, in order to participate. Because what happened in the third participation? What happened, virtual advisor, if no one of my classmates asked me directly. What happened if no one's asked me a question about my first participation? I have to make my participation, okay? So if no one asked me directly, I can take any other participation of my classmates, or you can take my guides. You can take my general questions to answer them, okay? It's very important because you must achieve your third participation, even if no one asks you directly, okay? So choose my random questions, or you can choose any other participation to make your own. Very good. The fourth participation, you have to present a conclusion about what you learned during this forum. So I'm going to give you also examples on how to write down, how to construct our conclusions, okay? At the end, maybe from Friday to Sunday, I'm going to give you examples about the conclusions, on how to make your own conclusions for the forum. And the fifth participation, and the most important, you can make one more. You really can make one more. So you can ask questions to another classmate or make two conclusions, okay? So try to generate more questions to our classmates in the forum, or make two conclusions to make the fifth participations in the integrative forum. Make sure, obviously, that you have to write down everything in English, everything in English. And please try to participate on different days of the week. Why? Because it's very recurrent area of opportunity. And according to the rubric of the forum, it's very, very penalized if you participate, if you make all your participations in one day of the week. So if you ask me, virtual advisor, why I didn't achieve my best grade in the integrative forum. Okay, maybe Ramon, that's why, because you make all your participations in one day of the week. You make all your participations on Sunday night. Okay, so even if you make 5, but you made them all in one day, it's very penalized according to the rubric. Okay, so try to participate like from 2 or 3 different days of the week. Okay, so this is really to increase the participation and to increase the knowledge here with your classmates and for me, okay, of course. So try to participate on different days of the week. I'm going to guide you in these forums, obviously in the learning forum as always, and in this integrative forum too. So what about the suggestions for the successful closure of our module? I have to tell you, obviously, this is the last week to regularize activities from previous weeks. You can contact me for any suggestions. This is very important. You can contact me or our tutor, because we have to closure our model very successfully, okay? You can send your integrative project punctually. Please, please, please try to deliver your project from Monday to Friday. Maybe you don't believe me right now, but we have some technical issues. If you, I know you have so many activities in your daily life, and you maybe can deliver on time. You delivered your project on Sunday night, but we have some risk about it, because maybe the platform gets a lot of users at the same time. Maybe the internet is not well, maybe the light issues, or maybe you attach a file that doesn't belong to the right one. This is very common actually, because we are on Sunday night, we are very tired of the whole day, of the whole week, and we make a mistake. We attach a file that didn't belong. So this is very common. So try to push yourself to work with discipline, to try to organize your time and deliver your project from Monday to Friday. Okay, you remember, I generate the feedback, the evaluation and feedback 24 hours after you send them. So try to work in the same way. Okay, participate in integrative forum according to the rubric, like we said. Carry out all the exercises and training activities. review the grammar and avoid the use of translators, of course. You can use grammarly.com. You can use the dictionaries that we already saw since week 1, but avoid the translators. What about the closure times? Like we said, we're going to finish our model in this week. So to regularize activities from previous weeks, you can contact me by the messenger of the platform or my email through the week and until Saturday, November 28th at 10 a.m. with the activities ready, okay? Because I'm going to give you the platform extension until November 29th at 10 a.m. I can't do it more. I can't wait more for you. I know you are in a special model, but I can't wait more because I have sometimes closures too, okay, to deliver all the feedbacks and the evaluations in the platform. So I can't wait you more if you have to regularize some activities from previous weeks, okay? So notice this part. I'm going to give you these instructions also in the news forum. I guess tomorrow I'm going to give you this information also in the news forum, okay? So for the special cases of integrative project means those who real have a real reason why you couldn't deliver on time. Please contact me by the messenger on the platform or through my email no later than Monday, November 30, through the morning and until 10 a.m. Okay, so that I give you an extension to make the delivery in platform no later than the same Monday at 4 p.m. I have to be very precise in these closure times because, like I said, I have to deliver also to my supervisor and from our tutor to close the platform and begin with the next model. Okay, so please try to be very punctual. Obviously, we're thinking in real cases you can deliver your integrative project, maybe a very good reason, and you can contact me on Monday through the morning. Okay, good. So what happened? Our Model 7 will close on Sunday, November 29 at 23:55 hours. And what will happen next? No later than Tuesday, December 1st. We are already on December. By Tuesday at night, I will finish evaluating the project and the integration forum. Right away, I will send an invitation message to consult your portfolio of evidence, and you should take a screenshot. Why? This is important too because SIGA Prep gets to 19 days, no, 19 days, no. Gets a lot of days actually to really register the final grade. Okay, so you have to make a screenshot of your portfolio, your final portfolio of the evidence, to really make the support until SIGA Prep has the final upgrades, the final grades, okay? So I'm going to give you this information also when I finish the evaluations and feedback. I'm going to generate a message for you to consult the portfolio. The additional resources, you already have them in the news forum and in the learning forum of this week 4. I suggest the language tool. It's an application to improve the grammar of the English language. It's free, of course. We have the breakingnewsenglish.com. It's one of the main places to learn English. This is a website to learn English, collects articles or current news, simplifies them, and builds a wide variety of activities of a central topic of the article. So the information is organized in 7 levels of difficulty, and it's very friendly because we can make a lot of activities and increase our knowledge in the reading comprehension. That is very important in English too. So finally, I have an application, Sounds Right, that help you to pronounce English words accurately and improve your speaking skills and comprehension. So obviously, it's of course free, and you can practice the pronunciation English and some difficult words maybe. So this is time for questions. Hopefully, you can review the session later. I know we have some issues, technical issues yesterday. I'm really sorry for that. But well, I hope right now everything is clear and you can check the session later. Thank you, Leticia, Patricia, Ramón, for joining me tonight. Por favor, díganme si tienen alguna pregunta. Algunas de las más recurrentes es el tema del audio. Están preocupados porque, bueno, es complicado lograr en un tiempo tan corto todo lo que queremos decir en inglés, porque es lo que nos pide la actividad. No se preocupen, ya les decía que si se pasan por algunos segundos, pues no voy a penalizar conforme a la rúbrica, solo traten de no exceder en cuestión de minutos, ¿ok? Y bueno, practicando con TTS Reader, practicando con Language Tool, todo lo que hemos practicado para pronunciar cada vez mejor. No tiene que ser perfecto, ya platicábamos la semana pasada de lo importante que es hacer un esfuerzo por lograr nuestros audios. Todavía veo que algunos de ustedes no los han realizado en semana 3, no se animan a hacerlo, ¿no? Entonces, en esta parte del proyecto, pues es muy importante que sí lo logremos. Ya decía, no tiene que ser perfectísimamente la pronunciación, pero que sí lo logremos realizar. Muy bien, Leticia, perfecto. Yo sé que el audio es como que la parte más difícil en el tema de practicar. Siempre lo dejamos al final también. Y bueno, no importa, hay que intentarlo, ¿sí? Otra de las dudas importantes, bueno, ya decía de los tiempos de cierre, que de todas maneras voy a compartir en plataforma, pero sí es muy importante que lo sigamos al pie de la letra. Yo trabajo de esta manera para poder entregar todo en tiempo, por eso también se los hago saber y lo comparto con ustedes. Al final, SIGAPREP, como decía, también cuando termine de evaluar, yo voy a comentarlo, se los voy a hacer saber en plataforma para que consulten su portafolio de evidencias y que saben que SIGAPREP tiene, pues, tarda bastante en hacer los registros finales. Entonces, siempre que terminen un módulo, es muy importante que realicen captura de pantalla del portafolio de evidencias de su calificación final y la conserven hasta en tanto tengan los registros definitivos en SIGAPREP, ¿no? Ya en su Cardex oficial, digamos, ¿no? Ok, Ramón, thank you. Otro de los temas importantes, bueno, la participación en el foro. Ya decía que la cuestión más recurrente es que realicen todas sus participaciones en un mismo día. Ya ponía el ejemplo con Ramón, suponiendo que me dijera facilitadora, ¿por qué saqué tan mala calificación o evaluación en el foro? Bueno, Ramón a lo mejor hizo 5 participaciones, pero resulta que todas las 5 participaciones las hizo en domingo en la noche, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, esto conforme a la evaluación de la rúbrica en el foro, que ustedes la pueden ver porque está en español también, pues es altamente penalizado. Entonces, tengan cuidado con esta parte, que es de lo más recurrente en el foro. Y bueno, sigan por favor los consejos. Ya decía que voy a estar dando preguntas adicionales y generales para quien no pregunte directamente, pero no se pueden quedar sin realizar sus participaciones para que sean satisfactoriamente evaluados. Y bueno, en cuestión del proyecto, básicamente sería esto, ¿sí? Una disculpa nuevamente el día de ayer. La verdad es que en 4 años que tengo en prepa en línea, creo que nunca me había sucedido que de plano no pude resolver en todo el tiempo de la sesión, no pude resolver el tema, pero bueno, ahora ya nos quedamos con esta nueva sesión el miércoles y de igual forma quedará grabada para quienes no pudieron acompañarnos. De manera anticipada me despido, pero ya saben que está mi correo electrónico, que de todas maneras haré una despedida propiamente formal al momento de que concluyamos nuestro foro. Les agradezco por haberme permitido ser su facilitadora. Le trabajemos con mucho esfuerzo para cerrar con mucho éxito nuestro módulo 7 recursamiento. Aprovechen esta oportunidad, no hay que dejarla pasar para que puedan continuar con su proceso académico y a lo mejor ya terminar su prepa en línea, ¿ok? Leticia, pueden ser 4, pero si ustedes quieren obtener las 5 participaciones, si ustedes quieren obtener el 100% de la evaluación del foro, tienen que ser 5, ¿ok? Porque la rúbrica dice, en el área del 100%, dice, y realizó 4 o más participaciones. Y en la siguiente línea de evaluación dice, realizamos 4 participaciones. Entonces, si yo quiero obtener el 100%, tengo que hacer más de 4. ¿Ok? Entonces, por eso la sugerencia, porque las indicaciones del foro dicen que realicemos 4, pero la rúbrica dice 4 o más. Entonces, por eso es que hay que hacer 5 participaciones, ¿ok? Excelente pregunta, Leticia, gracias. Ok, thank you for all. Thank you once again for joining me. Have a very good night, and let's keep in touch, okay? Thank you once again.